Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we got a few more people filling in, but in the meantime, I will go ahead and get us started. So I'm super excited for today's session because today's topic is one that is coming up more and more in client conversations right now, and that's estate planning. The reality of the situation is that a large percentage of your clients don't have a proper estate plan in place. When that happens, it can lead to probate, delays, added costs, and in many cases, unnecessary stress and conflict for their families. What we've been seeing more and more is advisors starting to bring that conversation into their existing annuity and life insurance reviews. What they're able to do is bring it up not as something separate or complicated, but as a better way to protect their clients and strengthen the conversations that they're already having. And that's what today is really about. We're going to walk through what happens when there is no plan in place, what a proper plan actually accomplishes, and most importantly, where you fit into that conversation as the advisor. There's a real opportunity here not only to help your clients, but also to help grow your practice through deeper relationships, more referrals, and additional planning opportunities. And today I'm super excited to say that we're joined by Mark Stirneman, who is the Vice President of NetLaw. Mark here has over 35 years of experience in financial services, with more than a decade of that work focused specifically on estate planning. He works closely with advisors across the country, helping them understand how to make estate planning simple, accessible, and most importantly, easy to incorporate into their existing business. Today, Mark is going to walk us through how this works, what NetLaw provides, and how you can start bringing this into your client conversations right away. Mark, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the opportunity to be here. I know this is my first time getting to speak to all the NFI agents. So again, I'm very happy to be here. And I look forward to working with all of you in the future to help your clients secure, a very crucial part of their financial planning, which is estate planning. So let me go ahead and share my screen here so you don't have to look at me, right? Let's look at what's important. And that will be the presentation. Let me go ahead and share this. And I will put it in presentation mode. So NetLaw. So I am very excited to present NetLaw to each and every one of you. A basic overview of what NetLaw is. So NetLaw is really an IT company. We're a document creation company that was created out of an estate planning law firm called the Hargrove Firm in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where I'm from, born and raised, and that's where our corporate office is. And what NetLaw simply is a software that was created by our attorneys to give our clients an easier way to create their estate planning documents. I think the last time I saw a statistic on how many people do not have their will and trust in place, I believe it was a report back in 2024. And it was 67% of Americans who didn't have that. And of course, that was concerning to us, right? We're in estate planning, but yet 2/3 of America isn't coming in to do their estate plan. So of course, we did our research and we wanted to find out why. Why is it that 2/3 of America procrastinate on some of the most important documents that they need? And there were a couple reasons. Cost is always one, and they're right. It is expensive. If you come into our law office or any law office, it's expensive to get your estate planning documents done. But I think the second reason that we found out was even more concerning than just cost. And people had the misconception that if they weren't multimillionaires, if they didn't own a business or they didn't have multiple properties, then estate planning wasn't for them. And, that's for the ultra wealthy people, but not for us. And nothing could be farther from the truth, right? So we took those ideas of, okay, cost, how do we solve that? Let's get into technology and let's create a software that walks you through your estate plan in a more convenient, because it's a software. You can do this straight from your home and cost effective. And we'll talk about the cost here in just a little bit for your clients. But we've solved both of those issues simply by creating a software. How did we create our software? We went out from our law office and we hired attorneys in all 50 states to come in and build our software. So no matter where your clients live at now or wherever they move to in the future, they have the ability to use this software to make sure that they have their state-specific legal documents. Each state has their own rules and regulations that have to be followed according to the American Bar Association. And that's why we had all attorneys from all 50 states come in and help us build our software. So if you're in Michigan, you're going to get Michigan documents. If you're in Kentucky with me, you'll get Kentucky documents, state-specific legal documents. And that's what we offer at NetLaw. So from an agent's point of view, one of the biggest things I get is, I love this. I want to make sure that my clients have their will and trust in place because I know how important it is, but I have no idea how to talk about it. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I created this slide for all the agents because this is really the 4 talking points that we talk about when we talk about estate planning, right? And, I think the biggest one is the asset distribution. This is where we're getting into the will and the revocable living trust. So with our asset distribution, we create our will that allows us to name executors, who's in charge when we pass away, and who's going to make sure that all of our assets get distributed to our beneficiaries. In our will, we're also going to list all of our major assets, and we're going to name those beneficiaries. So our executors know what assets we have and who's going to get it. And then with the revocable living trust, we have the ability to transfer some of our major assets that really don't have named beneficiaries, like your home, your cars, rental properties, your LLCs and S Corps. We can transfer all of those assets into the revocable living trust so that they pass without probate. We'll talk about probate here in a little bit, but making sure that the will names what assets we have and who's going to get them, and the trust will make sure that all of our assets get transferred to our beneficiaries right away without probate. That's asset distribution. What assets do I have? Who's getting it? And how fast are they going to get it? Really, that's all we talk about when it comes to asset distribution. How about guardians? If you have clients that have children under the age of 18, probably nothing more important, right? Because we want to make sure, hey, if something, God forbid, something happens to mom and dad, who's going to have custody of our kids? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to handle everything for them, right? So we need to make sure that our guardians are in place as well, making sure that someone is there to take care of our kids, again, if something happens to us. Healthcare decisions. This is a full comprehensive plan that we provide. Not only are we taking care of your financial responsibilities, but your healthcare as well. We have 3 healthcare documents inside our NetLaw platform. One is a healthcare surrogate. That's kind of like your medical POA. Who's speaking for you if you can't speak for yourself? We have a HIPAA authorization form that grants access to all of your medical charts to your healthcare surrogate or anyone else so that they can have that informed decision with the doctors. And then we also have our advanced directives or end-of-life decisions. What do you want to happen at end of life? Do you want to be hooked up to a machine and kept alive? Or do you really just want to pass naturally? So there is a lot that goes on with our healthcare decisions that need to be made. So very, very important to have all of our healthcare documents set up as well. And then lastly, we talk about financial planning, that power of attorney, right? We all heard of a durable financial power of attorney. That comes with the program as well, where this document is a living document where you can name someone who can handle all of your financial decisions that need to be made if you're unable to make them for yourself, whether you're sick, you're in the hospital, or maybe it's for, our clients' mom and dads who maybe have gotten up to that golden age where maybe their minds just aren't as sharp as they once were, and the kids need to come in and take care of all of the financial planning. This is all provided inside the NetLaw plan. So as you can see, really not that hard to talk about, right? And I didn't use any kind of legal terms or any case studies about estate planning, but really these are the 4 things that really, encompass a full and complete estate plan. So what I love to show my clients is this page, because if you don't do this, this is what happens. And all of this is at stake. State intervention is one. Without a will, the government or your state will come in and dictate how your assets are distributed and to whom they're distributed to. So that is a lot of unknown preferences, right? Here's all of your assets. We don't know where they're going. It's up to the court system. And what does that do? It causes family stress and conflict. How many times have we heard where mom and dad have passed away? The kids come in and start fighting over everything, right? And then they get into a big fight and they don't talk for 5 or 6 years. We see it all the time at the law office. It happens all the time because nothing was written out. Nothing was in place. And whether you have a will or you don't, all of your assets that you have are public information. So we want to make sure that, we also create that trust, because that trust is a private document. So making sure that our assets transfer over into the trust for privacy is a big concern. And of course, increased cost and delays. If you don't have a plan in place, probate. And probate happens where the state comes in and freezes all of your major assets that do not have named beneficiaries. And they delay them for 6 months to a year, because the state's job is to make sure that all of your creditors are paid off first. Then, after all of that, your assets can distribute to your beneficiaries. It's very expensive to go through the probate process as well. You have to hire an attorney, you have to go to court, you have to fight the creditors, cost and delays without having a plan. But once I show this slide, I show the next slide, because you're the hero now. You have all of the answers on everything that we just talked about. When we have our will and trust in place, we have full control over everything. What assets we have and who's receiving them, who's going to take care of our kids, who's going to handle our medical decisions. And we're going to have the ability to avoid probate by having those assets inside the ownership of the trust, to make sure that they bypass the probate court system and pass to your beneficiaries right away, so that everything is protected, right? There's no stress, there's no confusion. This is already a bad time. The one thing we don't want is the government to come in and take full control of everything. But timing is important, right? So as we all know, life is unpredictable. I always talk to my clients, turn on the news. Every morning it seems like someone passed away, car wreck, an emergency, heart attack, or anything, and we don't know when our time is up. So we need to plan ahead. We can't delay. This is one of the first things that I tell all of my agents about, is this is probably the first thing that you sell, because this is going to be the one thing that keeps everything under control on keeping the family okay, keeping the kids okay, making sure that all of our assets do not go through probate, but they pass to our beneficiaries right away. So where do you fit in? Well, as we know, we're living longer, right? So as we have an aging population, there's more and more people to help. And what do they have? More and more money, right? The longer we live, the more that we acquire. So we have a large transfer of wealth happening right now. So we have to have our financial security in place, avoiding probate and making sure that our family is protected. But this is my favorite slide to talk to agents about, because like I said just a little bit ago, this should be the first thing that you sell to your clients. And here's why. Cross-selling opportunities. So, and I always tell all the agents, hey, when you send a NetLaw invitation to your clients, sit with them, either in person or over, a meeting like this, because it is going to give you so much information. When you sit with your clients and you help them, they're going to list out all of their assets that they have, all of their major assets. And what I'm looking for, life insurance, 401k, things that we want to talk to them about, right? So whether they have a life insurance and they already have it in there, great. Maybe let's do a review on that and see if we can get them some more insurance for at the same cost, or maybe even cheaper, right? We don't know what they have. Look at 401ks. Maybe that's a rollover opportunity that can help us grow our business as well. So there's all kinds of advantages of when you sit there, because they're going to list all of their assets and who those beneficiaries are. So I think it's very, very important. I'm going to jump down to the bottom right. More referrals. This is another major reason of why you do this, because when you sit with them, you're going to see their executors, their trustees, their guardians, all of their beneficiaries. These are people you don't know. Who are these people? And how can you help them with NetLaw and everything else in your business, right? So when you're sitting with, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, who are all of these people that are in your friends and family contacts? Who are those? Can I help them? Is this something that they need as well? Can you introduce me to them? Or maybe recruit Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then they can be under you, and then they can sell it. And then you have agents underneath you, right? So, there's so much that comes with this NetLaw software than just creating the estate plan. You also get a commission off of every sale. So the revenue grows. And if you take that NetLaw plan and you turn it into a insurance sale, even more revenue, right? So this leads you to exactly where you want to go. And I always save client loyalty for last. If you help someone with their estate planning, there's really nothing more personal, right? We're talking about what happens when you pass away. What happens to your family, your assets, your businesses? What happens? And you're there to help them. They'll never forget that. They won't forget you for sure. So having that client loyalty so that they can take what you helped them with and maybe refer other people back to you. A great way for you to grow your business. This is our full plan. So as you can see, we have the last will and testament. We have the power of attorney, the healthcare documents, the living trust. We even have a pet trust. So if your clients are pet lovers, you can use this to, if you pass away, someone's got to take ownership of your pet. You can leave money behind to that person so that they can use that to, vet bills are expensive, food, boarding, right? So we need some extra money that we can use to take care of someone else's animal. All of this is included for the $600 cost. And as you can see, in the middle of the screen includes free spouses plan as well. So one plan covers both spouses. One plan lets both spouses create all of these documents. And probably the most important, this is your registration link. This is the link that you're going to go out to, and this is going to set you up with a NetLaw agent account. This is where you're going to go out and you can send invitations to your clients. Please get with us. Now, this is the first meeting that I'm having with you. We can do agent trainings as well. I do client trainings as well. So if you want to bring your clients to a meeting, I can present this and help you sell NetLaw to your clients. But this is the link that you need to do first to get started, because you need to have your NetLaw agent account set up. And this is our phone number and our email address. The great thing about the NetLaw customer service is we have in every NetLaw agent account and every NetLaw client account, there is a chat bar. If you hit that chat bar, you can talk to one of our representatives and we can help your clients with anything. But the great thing about that chat bar is we can turn that chat into a video call where we can see your screen and we can help your clients with anything. If they're stuck creating a document, they don't understand anything, maybe they just need a little bit of hand holding and they have questions that maybe you can't answer, hey, hit that chat bar. It's the best thing to do. So this was kind of a great overview of NetLaw and what the NetLaw software provides for you and your clients. I'll stop sharing here. And if there's any questions right now, I can go ahead and take those. And I'd like to show you maybe in the next 5 minutes here. Let me lower this screen, what the NetLaw software looks like. So I don't know if there's any questions while I'm changing screens, but as I'm doing that, if anyone has any questions,
Yeah, I've actually got one. And real quick, I just want to say I really love the emphasis you put on the client loyalty.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you're already having conversations with people, why not give them kind of that full encompassing service all at one time?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
then
think
right
it's
off
so
the bat,
important.
yeah, well, we do have one question right off the bat. Agents wondering what the commission looks like for them when they kind of sell the NetLaw service.
Yeah. Get with your NFI commissions department and they will explain all of that. I don't want to speak for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
And for
don't want to
agents
get
that
in
are
trouble on day one.
for agents that are looking to bring up these conversations in the client meetings that they're already having, how do you kind of segue into the NetLaw conversation without making it feel like a big shift or awkward or things like that?
Well, there's two ways to bring it up. So when if they already have maybe a life insurance policy, or that's what you're talking to them about right now, go, hey, once we create this and we get this going, let's go ahead and get that into your will and trust and let them tell you that they don't have a will and trust. Great. You have that option for them. We'll go ahead and take care of that once we get this set up. Or the opposite, right? The opposite. If you're leading the conversation with NetLaw, and I do this with my clients, I kind of play silly. So even though I know that they don't have a life insurance policy, when I'm helping them create their estate plan and we're going through and we're listing all of the major assets, I'll just kind of look over at them and go, hey, we forgot to add your life insurance policy. And let them tell you, I don't have life insurance. Right. Same thing, same answer, right? Great. Once we get
you kind of let them walk into it.
Yeah, it walks you right to it. It walks you right to it. And one of the biggest things, if you all are into, like college savings, college plans, saving for the future, when they're listing all of their family and contacts, who's going to be the executors, who's going to be the guardians, but they're listing their beneficiaries as well, which could be small children. Look for that. Look how old they are and say, hey, we need to start saving for college. It's going to be really expensive in 15, 16 years, depending on how old their children are. But a great way to lead you to all kinds of different conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and I'll share this. This is actually what the NetLaw software looks like.
So when agents decide that they're going to start working with NetLaw, they get signed up and this is what they see.
Yeah, well, this is what the client sees. So I wanted to show this first because I wanted everyone to have a full understanding of how easy it is for your clients to complete this. Not only for the clients, but for the agents as well. When they sit with them, there's really nothing to get confused on because it is a Q&A session. It's, you have your 4 tabs over here on the left-hand side that we go through. And my profile, well, it's exactly that, right? And this is my demo account. This isn't really my information, but who are you? What's your full name? Are you male or female? And your birthday. And you hit next. I mean, it's just, where do you live? This is important because here, state of residence, Texas. The last time I played around in this, I was in Texas. So it's going to pull up state-specific documents for the state of Texas. If your clients move, let's say they move from Texas and they move to Florida, all they have to do is come back in here, change their address, and now let's say they live in Miami, Florida. They'll hit next, and it will ask them if we need to ship them anything, we're going to ship it to their residential address. They hit finish. The system updates to now Florida documents, and it takes them automatically to the second tab, family and contacts. This is everybody that who's going to play a role in your documents. Your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends, cousins, relatives, right? And I'll add one real quick just to show you. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner, there's this little blue circle. We can go ahead and click that. And as you can see, the 4 tabs come up: spouse, children, parents, others. I'll just do others just to show you how easy it is to add someone. Male, and then we put their birthday in. And what is the relationship? I'll just put cousin. We hit next. It asks for their address. Oops. And as everybody can see, I can't type great, but that's okay. Oops. Kansas. And finish. And there it is. So it adds everyone. Once we have all of our family and contacts in there, we go to our Smart Guide interviews. And here's all of our documents. As you can see, this is your plan. It has the will, the healthcare documents, the power of attorney, and the both trusts, the living trust and the pet trust. And one thing we didn't talk about, and I'll finish with this, but we have a special needs trust that it's our only a la carte document, and we'll talk about that at the end. But as you go through, over here is where we're going to complete our documents. Here's our will and trust. The reason that we create our will and trust at the same time is because this is a pour over will into the trust. So we're going to list all of our assets and the beneficiaries inside the will. But when it prints out, it's going to pour over into the trust, because remember when I was talking about the will is a public document, everything can be seen. We don't want that. So we're going to pour over those assets into the trust so that now everything is private. It doesn't avoid probate until you transfer those assets into the trust. But this helps with the privacy part. And remember, both spouses are included. Here's me, here's my wife, and we can go in, we hit edit. It's going to say start in the beginning, but here we get to do a joint revocable trust, or you can do two individual trusts. So you can do one joint trust where all of the assets are owned by both spouses, or if you hit no, each spouse will do their own individual trust. So very easy to do, and I can just name it the Stirneman Revocable Living Trust. And we hit next. So now we've just decided what trust we're going to do, and we're going to name the trust. Here's your executors. And as you can see over here on the right-hand side of the page, there's frequently asked questions. Why am I filling this out? So remember, your executors are who's going to handle everything when you pass away. So from your drop-down box of everyone who is over the age of 18, we can name them, right? So we can choose any of these people. The great thing is not only are you naming your main executors, but on the next page is your successors. Who's the backups? Who's the backups in case I need backups, right? And we're going to do that for our guardians as well. So you'll name main guardians and you'll name successors. Here's your trustees. As I said earlier, you and your spouse are always the trustees of your account. So you're always in charge of everything. When you pass away, that's when your successors will play a role and handle everything. One of the big questions when it comes to trust is, can one person, so either or of the spouses, can they act independently and make a decision on your trust? Or do both have to act together? So everybody's on the same page, right? So I always like to choose that one. And then we hit next. Do you have any pets? We'll hit no for now because the pet trust is later. But here's your device of personal residence. Here's the address that I had in my profile section. It's going to ask you, how is the house owned? By both spouses or maybe just one spouse? We'll just choose this one. And a replacement property, if I ever sell this house, is the new house going to replace it? Yes or no? You would click no as if you're buying like more rental properties and stuff like that. And then you just name your beneficiaries, right? Here's my house. Who's getting it? And if I own other real estate, I can even do like international properties. And I have a full demo on how to create all of the documents that I can make sure that you all get. I know I'm going fast for time constraints here, but I just kind of want to give you an overview of how easy it is to fill in all of these. Here's all of your specific bequests. I'll raise this screen up. Your specific bequests are all of your major assets except your property, because the last two pages we're talking about property, but this is everything else. everything.
So, Mark, are you recommending that agents are walking through this with their clients, or agents are giving this to their clients?
Absolutely,
saying,
yeah.
go
Because
your
right here,
and bring it back.
yeah. So like right here, I'll go back, and I like life insurance, right? If I'm an agent, I'm going to do a review on that. How old is this, right? How old is it? Let's see what else I have here. So checking accounts, cars, cash. So anything. This is where they would have their 401ks, annuities, retirement plans, all of that. This is where you put all of this.
Gotcha.
And then everything that we didn't put in specific bequest, we can leave to our children, or we can name another person, or we can even give it to a charity as well. Do we want to omit any children? Maybe there's a child in your family that has a drug or alcohol problem, and we don't want to leave them any money. We know what they'll do with it, and we don't want that to happen. So you can omit a child. And a descendants trust. I think this is very important. This is inside the revocable living trust. And this is for those clients that have children under the age of 18. Right now, they're under the age of 18. If mom and dad pass away, because they're 18, or when they turn 18, they're going to receive all of their inheritance at once. And that sounds right? Mom and dad have passed away. Let's get the kids everything they need right away. But let's remember they're 18, right? I'll speak for myself. If my parents would have passed away and left me $1 million, $2 million, it would have been the great 2 to 3 years of my life. But I would have been broke, right? Because I wouldn't have had the ability to understand that I need to save this. But here you can decide at what age your child will receive their inheritance and how much of that inheritance they will receive. So they can receive a third of it at 25, half at 30, and the rest at 35. So increments, right? Half at 25 and half at 30. All at 21 or all at 25. A little bit older than 18, right? And if you need anything that's on here that wasn't in the drop-down box, you can get with me and I can help you. Parents love this option. And then your ultimate disposition, which is your last screen of your will and trust. If your spouse and your children pass away before you do, now you're going to pass who's getting all of your assets. And you can give it to your heirs at law or your spouse's heir at law. You could do a 50-50 split. Or again, you could give it to another person or a charity. And again, always frequently asked questions will help you answer what you're filling out. And we even have a retirement plan provision. Most people do not do this. This is if they want to put their retirement accounts inside their revocable living trust instead of it being distributed to your beneficiaries right away. There's two options. Most provide a quicker return, but at a higher tax level. So have your clients just read through this and pick which option they prefer. I will tell you, 99% of people click, no, I don't want to do this, because they don't want to pay that higher fee, right? And then we hit finish. You just created your will and trust. For both spouses to create all of their documents, it usually takes under 1 hour. And then you can just go to your My Files here in the middle of the screen. Your My Files is where all of your documents are stored. Here's where they all are. This is where we're going to print them out and get them witnessed and notarized. All of your documents. You can even create folders, so you can store all of your important information in here as well. Once you're done with yours.
As far as getting them notarized, is that...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Mark. Just had a quick question about notarizing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is that something that another thing NetLaw provides, or is it then up to the client to get the documents notarized in their area?
It's up to the clients. There's two things that I say about that. If your client wants to print them out and take them somewhere and get them witnessed and notarized, they can go to their bank. They usually do it for free. But I recommend that every agent becomes a notary, because I don't want my clients going and talking to someone else because they may know a financial representative, right? Oh, you shouldn't deal with them. Here, deal with my buddy, right? We don't want that to happen. So become a notary, help them create all their documents, help them get them notarized as well. They're only talking to you, no one else. That's what I like.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So then once you create you just hit last will and trust again, and you do your spouses, same exact way. We have our power of attorney as well. So it takes care of all of the power of attorney documents. So from here, you can name your power of attorney, who's going to handle all of your financial affairs if you're unable to. And then you have your successors as well. Great thing about the successors is you have 4 options. You can do multiple people serving together, so they all have to agree or a majority wins on what to do. Or you can name multiple people, but one serving after the other. Or just one person, or none. We don't like this one, right? We always have to have somebody in place. 2 questions handles your financial power of attorney. Although in Kentucky, where I'm from, it's a 13-page document. So it has all the legalities of the same documents from the attorney's office by simply asking 2 questions. And we have our healthcare documents as well. And it just goes through who's your medical power of attorney, who's speaking for you, and your successors. Do you want to limit your agent's authority? Usually no, right? Because we put them in place for a reason. And then we do our HIPAA authorization. Who's getting access to all of your medical charts and your successors? Do I want to include, if I ever go to see a psychiatrist, do I want to see the notes? Do I want my healthcare surrogate to see all of the notes? Or no, I don't want that. And then on death, do you want to give any body parts to science or anything like that? So you can choose that as well. And you hit finish. You just created all your documents. A very easy to use software. Again, attorneys from all 50 states have come in here and built this software. These are the same questions the attorneys are asking the clients when they go into the law firm. Same exact. I always compare this to like TurboTax or when you use the H&R Block software, right? We're all not CPAs, but yet we can do our taxes very seamlessly and correct. Why? Because the software is created to make sure that we enter the right information in the right spot, and you create your documents. Same thing with this. And again, here's that chat bar that I talked about in the upper right-hand corner. If you hit that, you can talk to our representatives. They can do a review for your clients. They can answer any questions that your clients may have. They can help you as an agent in any way. All of this is included with the NetLaw package. So let me stop here, and I will turn it back over to you.
Yeah. One question that we did have come through that I would love to ask you, Mark, is I know there are other similar services out there. There's like LegalZoom and other things like that. Mm-hmm. What advantage does NetLaw give advisors?
Yeah. So the biggest advantage NetLaw has is we are the only ones to win the James Keene Award from the American Bar Association. So the James Keene Award is handed out each year to the company that has the best online delivery of legal documents. So that was awarded to the Hargrove firm for the creation of NetLaw. Again, the best online delivery of legal documents from the American Bar Association. So I would say that's a big one, right? That's a big one. The second is I will put our customer service over anything. If you call them, they usually answer the phone, which is rare these days, right? I gave you the email address, the phone number. We have the chat bar. The one thing, when you contact a company and you need support, I hate that. Well, just contact this page where hopefully they call you back. You don't get that with us. You have a full support team that is there to help you with anything that you need. And the pricing is very competitive at $600. And the best thing about it is Once they pay the $600, there's nothing else to pay for. There's no subscription fees. Their account is open and active. Most companies charge about $10 to $30 a month to keep your account open and active after you purchase it. We don't charge anything. Once your client pays the $600, that's it. They have their account open for life. So free edits.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thank you for sharing that. And I find it interesting as well. So when they need to change their information, like you said, if they're changing their address, they're moving to Florida, or, let's say they just had to take a child off, add a child on, or, they get a pet later in life after making it, those changes are all easy and adaptable to make in the software, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They just log back into the software. They make any changes that are necessary. But remember, once you change it, you have to print that document out again and get it witnessed and notarized because it's been updated.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question we had come through was about I know you said the special needs was the only, you said a la mode, I believe.
Yeah, it's a la carte.
Addition
or
addition.
Yeah, so the special needs trust is $750, and it is a third-party special needs trust. So anyone can leave a special needs person some assets via their special needs trust. So when let's say their brother and sister are creating their will, they can leave an asset to the special needs person inside their special needs trust. The reason that you want to do that is because if that special needs person is receiving federal funding from the government, like Medicaid, if they receive a lot of assets worth a lot of money, the government's going to say, you don't need this federal funding. You have all of this money. So they'll cut off the federal funding. But anything that is distributed to the special needs person via their special needs trust is private. So they receive the assets and they still get to keep all of their federal funding. That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
And inside our law office, it's $3,500 for a special needs trust. So we're offering it through this platform for $750. So, special needs families need all the breaks they can get. This is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And just another great resource for agents' clients. So if an agent would like to get their clients on NetLaw, they've got people in mind, they're already thinking of those appointments that they have coming up where this is something they could bring up to their clients. It's really as simple as just going to that link and getting their clients signed up and paid for, right?
And what I'll do is, the first thing is you go to the link that was provided and create your NetLaw account. And I'll send this to you in an email today. I have what we just did kind of going through this software. I have that in a demo video. I'm going to get that to you. I have a presentation on how to send invitations to your clients. It takes 10 seconds. It's really easy to do. But once you see it the first time, you go, oh, okay, now I know how to do it. So I'll send our latest client flyer that you can share with your clients on why this is so necessary. So I'll get you everything. And then if you want to put that in a back office somewhere where the agents can go get it, or if you all want to reach out to me, my email it's real easy, mark@netlaw.com. And just reach out to me and I'll get you everything that you need to do. And again, I do client training. So if you want to get a group of people together via Zoom or Google Meet or whatever we use, let me know, and I can be there to present NetLaw for you and help you make some sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today, Mark. It's really nice to hear just about another tool that agents can have in their toolkit when they're meeting with clients and having those comprehensive retirement conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. So I look forward to working with everyone.
Yeah. For everyone that is here and is listening today and who receives this recording, hopefully this is helping you see that estate planning isn't just separate to what you're already doing, right? It's something that is fitting directly into the client conversations that you're already having. And the biggest takeaway, at least for me here, is that most of your clients probably already don't have a plan in place. And this is creating risk both for them and their livelihoods, as well as risking an opportunity for you as the advisor to be the solution. If it's something that you're not bringing up, it's definitely worth taking a closer look at and seeing if this can fit in your process. But like Mark said, If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to NFI Solutions, to reach out to Mark there at NetLaw. We're happy to walk you through how we can help you fit this into your business. Mark, thank you again for taking the time to sit down with us today and show us NetLaw. And thank you to everyone that joined us. We appreciate you being here, and we really hope to see you at a future session.
Yes.